Hi, I'm Bart Hanson, the owner and operator of CrushLivePoker.com. The following hand comes from our call-in show that we record at 4:45 p.m. Pacific Time every Monday. If you want to call in your hand, check out the phone number in the description. Hello.
Hi, Bart. Thanks
Hi.
for taking my call.
You got it.
This is the first time I'm calling the show, so I'm not sure if I tell you the entire hand all at once or just slowly. But
Just dive into it. So, what game are you playing and where?
all right. So I'm playing at Potawatomi Bingo and Casino in near downtown Milwaukee,
Okay.
and playing in a 1-3 no limit cash game.
Okay.
And
500 cap. 500 cap buy-in.
it's a 1 to 300.
Okay.
And the room tends to be, at this level anyway, pretty loose passive.
Okay.
And so I'm typically kind of like the most aggressive person at the table. Anyway, a guy limps under the gun, and he has me covered. I have 480 to start the hand, and so there's one limp, and it folds to me, and I have two black kings. I make it 15 from the button,
Okay.
and the blinds fold, and he calls.
So the limper calls.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So we're heads up. I have the button,
Mm-hmm.
and the flop comes 10-5-5 with two clubs.
Okay.
So I have overpair, backdoor, flush draw.
Mm-hmm.
Checks, I bet 25,
Okay.
and he clicks back. So min check raises to 50, and I decide to just call.
Okay, so right off the bat here, I think that you can sometimes go, excuse me, you can sometimes go with a little bit smaller sizing, but I feel like at small levels, 25 here is fine after you open to 15. My initial reaction here is this is almost always going to be at this level, kind of a finding out where he's at type of raise, maybe with a 10, most likely with a 10, maybe like pocket nines, something like that. It's unlikely that he is going to have a 5 here from this position. It's possible, but I think that people will either slow play or they will raise larger from what I've seen at these levels. So I would even sometimes click back here against some opponents. You can obviously just call. It looks like you guys are going to have about maybe 400 left, and the pot's going to be 125. So you can still probably get the money in with a bet. So I don't hate the call, but I will sometimes click this back to like 125 because a lot of times on the turn you're not going to get bet out at. But you call. So what's the turn here?
So the turn is an offsuit 7,
Okay.
and he decides to continue and bet 50.
Yeah, see, this is like, so this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like this sizing here is really, really indicative of you having the best hand. And again, at this point, I feel like you do have to raise because you're not going to get bet at the river a lot. So you've got to start putting more money in. I might make it 130, something like that.
Okay. Well, I chose to go a little bit larger. I went to 200. And
Okay. That is a little bit large because even if he calls, I mean, you have 200 left, and you could still get away with going smaller than that. But okay, you make it 200.
yeah, okay. He calls pretty quickly. And
So
I
now,
guess at this point, yeah, no, go ahead.
So now the pot is 400 on the turn. You put in 100 on the flop, 500, maybe 530, and it looks like you've got maybe what 130 left. So like,
I have like 205 left.
okay, you have
Yeah,
205 left. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, my bad. You're right. 205. So about a 1/3 to a half pot size bet left.
right. So I guess before I get to the river, I want to know how are you, like, if you're me, how are you ranging this guy at this point?
I mean, I really do think it's a lot like a 10 here, like I was talking about. At this point, like if a club comes off and he ships turn, excuse me, he ships river, I still think I call because I've seen guys spaz out, and I just don't think that the bet sizing is really indicative of a flush draw, check raising to 50 followed up by 50. So I wouldn't expect to really see a bet here on the river pretty much with any card with the exception of a 10. And if the river does come a 10 and he thinks about it for a long time and checks, I very well might check back. But that's pretty much the only card that's going to be, I think, kind of spicy for us here is if the river pairs a 10.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't really sure where to put him. I'm trying to like figure out exactly what he can possibly have here. I'm thinking possibly flush draw, possibly like a pair, jacks or queens type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't put him on a lot of tens, but in any case, the river is actually a 10.
Yeah. Okay.
And at this point, he ships. And
So the pot's going to be like 700, 200 for you to call. I mean, that is kind of a shitty card, and it sounds consistent with a 10. And it wouldn't surprise me if somebody moves all in here with a 10. You're getting 3.5 to 1 here, so you only have to be good here maybe 1 out of 4.5 times. I just find it hard to fold hands at this level. But you're probably beat, but the pot odds might dictate a call here. I think I might just throw in a call. Hope that he has some hand that he's spazzing out with like eights or nines, but that's a really shitty river for you.
yeah, so I thought about it for a while, but I did find a call just because of the 3.5 to 1-ish type thing. But
So,
and he
Pete, so
sorry,
somebody in
go
the
ahead.
someone in the live chat said call without a club to balance with overpair. So I mean that's sort of interesting too. I mean that's really kind of advanced level thinking when if you're going to call some hands with kings, if you have a club in it, then obviously there's less of a chance the guy has a flush draw. If you don't have a club, there's more of a chance. So that's kind of the way to think about blockers, even at the low level, when trying to choose like what hands you're going to call with. But this does sound to me like a 10. And I might talk to the guy too and stuff like that. So, um,
Actually, I did end up talking to the guy, and I asked the big fish question: if I fold, will you show me?
uh-huh.
And he sort of smiles, and he's like, "Oh yeah, sure, I'll show you." And I kind of chuckled because I don't know. I usually feel like when this type of thing happens, they generally want you to fold, but I still thought about it for a while, and I found the call.
Okay.
And he has a 10 and a 7 in his hand, so
10,
that is for me.
10 7 suited from under the gun. So obviously he's playing a wide range. I mean, just one other quick thing to take away from that too is just notice that he is playing a wide range from up front. So he's going to have a lot of hands. If you ever get involved, in a similar spot against this guy through a limp call, just realize he's playing suited hands from up front. Sometimes occasionally he actually is going to have a weird trips. He'll have a lot of flush draws. He's definitely playing a very wide range, right, from up front. It's interesting that you said sure, sure. I mean, I don't know if that's that you asked him and he said, yeah, I'll show you. I don't know if that's necessarily indicative of strength or weakness per se. I think in those
Yeah.
tells books that I think it's sometimes strength, sometimes weakness. I'm not actually sure, but obviously you're getting pretty good pot odds. I like I said, I could see clicking back flop, raising turn is fine, and I don't think you did anything wrong. I mean, the guy caught basically a two outer, although I guess he could have caught a seven too when he improved. But you had a pretty big hammer lock on the hand. But thanks for calling in, first time caller. I appreciate it.
You bet. Thanks for taking the call. Have a good one.
Hey guys, if you like what you've seen here, please click on the subscribe button and you'll get notified every time we put up a new video. And if you want to check out crushlivepoker.com for the first month free, use the code YTA100. Click on the link right there.